on this verse?
Yeah, my book is almost saying the same thing. Is they're talking about two kinds of devotion. The first stage is, you do the physical thing, like, external form of worship. You go to God, and, Second is what we are doing now is, devote to the Guru, read the scriptures, control the senses. That is the most important thing, and do the right type of meditation. And when you control the senses, then actually you go deeper in your meditation, and your energy rises from the first three lower chakras to the other open, like from the heart chakra onward, it goes up. So once your energy starts going up, then only you get the union with the God. And once you get union with the spirit, that's the time like why we don't do meditation is because we are just stuck in this enjoyment of what we have already tasted, like good food, good clothes, and all that. But once you enjoy the bliss of the union with God, then once you know that bliss, then you will not go to your sense bliss. So that's what he's saying. God has given us a free will, and see, we all are also actually reading the scriptures. Now we can implement it in our lives. Then that's how we are going to control our senses and reach the higher goal of uniting with the spirit. And then when we unite with the spirit, then that's when we get the peace.
Yeah,
That's
good. Yeah. And if you guys remember in chapter 3, he told you that how to do that, and we had an example ki, likes and dislikes are there in us. And the sense control means we should rise above the likes and dislikes. So that is one of the very important technique, because we cannot get rid of our likes and dislikes because we are born with that three gunas, a certain combination of it. But we can train ourselves not to come under its sway. कि मतलब it's there, मगर मेरे को उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. That's what we need to do. And then he gave another technique in chapter 3 how to do the sense control is you go to the higher one. So he said, senses are more powerful than the body. Mind is more powerful than the senses. Intellect is more powerful than the mind, and Atma is the most powerful. So suppose if you are having a problem at the emotional level, कि भाई इसने ये बोला, go sit in your intellect seat and then try to control that. So you have to sit on a higher thing, and the self-knowledge is the highest. उसको जिसको वो मिल गया उसका तो सब control हो गया साथ में. But suppose we are not there yet. So that's why I sometimes when I'm talking to some our age group that I teach over there, 15, 16. So I always say, don't make decision on an emotional level. Get into your intellect seat. Is this right or wrong? Don't go by, I feel like doing this, that's why I'm doing. Then you're in big trouble because you're at that emotional level, And then intellect also is a little bit tricky because sometimes intellects में अगर wrong चीज को पकड़ के बैठ गए ना intellect में, that's a very big disaster. And that verse is coming कि the people जो संशय आत्मा उसको बोला है कि भाई सब चीज में doubt, और वो doubt भी इतना गहरा कि सुनने को तैयार नहीं, So then that person is the biggest problem. So those are the kind of things when we talk about sense control. How to do it. Any other question, comment? Anybody want to say anything? Manjula ji?
No, I'm just listening and trying to grasp.
Probably too many things.
I see that peace on her face already. She has won half of the battle already.
So, Manjula ji, I always say that over here, people have come from so many different, people have different gurus, different path and all that. All we are doing over here is, in our own path, we want to go deeper, better, Whatever your path is, there is no conflict with whatever we are learning, because whatever we are learning is more scientific stuff. And, like when Sneha talks about it, it's that, path of meditation, or even Kamlaji over here, they follow that Yogananda ji's path. So, all that, you can see how it's just parallel. There's one method of getting, किसी को भक्ति में है तो वो भक्ति में कर सकता है, किसी को कर्म योगा, और and somewhere it all blends everything together also, you know. So there is no conflict in this class. We are just all of us coming from different angles, but you know, trying to make better whatever our path is. That's what it is. Okay, so if somebody doesn't have any question or comment, then I'm going to close Bhagavad Gita over here.
And Uma, thank you very much. And I will be there next week.
Yeah, so we do Kathopanishad after this, and if you want to stay, you can stay. If you have to leave, that's fine, whatever you want to do. Because the Kathopanishad is like what Bhagavad Gita is, the essence of Upanishads. So whatever we are learning over here, it's the same thing. They take another angle, and the amazing thing is that today we may not be able to do that verse, but one verse that we will do, you know, after that, maybe next week, is literally identical in chapter 2. So verse 20 of chapter 2 is the same. And you know, one of the Swami was saying, people who study Bhagavad Gita first, they might think, and then they study Kathopanishad, then they will say, अरे ये Bhagavad Gita वाला Kathopanishad ने ले लिया. नहीं, it is ulta. Bhagavad Gita has taken it from the Upanishad, because Bhagavad Gita is the sar of Upanishad. So Krishna Bhagwan took all these things, and Krishna Bhagwan always says that wise people said it, Shastras say it, you know. He never says कि, you know, कि only मैं बोल रहा हूँ, because he doesn't want Arjun कि मैं बोल रहा हूँ इसलिए कर. No, wise people are saying it, Shastras are saying it. That's why you do it, you know. So that's how it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do the prayer. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. Okay, so we are on verse 17 that we'll be doing of Valli 2 Kathopanishad. And if one of you can tell the page number, because mine is different.
Page 124.
Okay. So you can open the page 124 of Kathopanishad. This verse actually can be chanted just like Bhagavad Gita. Etad alambanam shreshtam, etad alambanam param, etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyate. So etad is this, alambanam means support, shreshtam, glorious, mahan, big, etad, this, alambanam again support, param, and we know we have, you know, paramatma, parabrahma, so supreme, para is supreme. Etat is this, alambanam again support, gnatva, having known this, brahma loke. This word we are going to see how it can go two different ways in the world of Brahmaji, the creator. So one is that, and the other meaning is also there. Mahiyate, become adored, or find mahiyate is again the word which can go two different ways, realizing something and attaining something. So we will see this. But just to get the context of what we did last week was this world is verily Brahman alone. This word is verily Brahman. He's talking about Om. Om is Brahman alone, and this word is the highest. Om is the highest. He who knows this obtains verily whatever he desires. This is a very loaded thing. So just remember this. Yo yadi gacchati tasya tat, means jo desire karta hai, वो उसको मिल जाता है. As you think, so you become. Remember Swami ji said that? So what does this... हाँ.
एक बार और बताइए, महियते का आपने बताया था attaining something and...
So mahiyat is attaining and gaining, like gaining means कुछ मिल जाए, और attaining, I'll tell you, अभी ये confusing लग रहा है word attaining and gaining. Gaining मैंने बोला था. But when we go to what they are talking about gaining and what they are talking about attaining, then it will get clarified. So I said two words, gaining and attaining. So let's see what they're saying. So now everybody remembers, especially the people who did Mandukya with us, we know the glory of Om, right? Very scientific, the sound as well as the word and the way it is, and it's a symbol of that Brahman. And he's saying that this is the highest one. And what he's saying over here, that it's the support to get that. जैसे कि हम लोग को कहीं पहुंचना होता है ना, तो हमको किसी चीज़ का सपोर्ट चाहिए. कार में बैठते हैं, ट्रेन में बैठते हैं, बस में बैठते हैं, airplane में, rocket में, I don't care where, you need a support to get somewhere. So look at it as a support. So he's saying that this is the best Shreshtham. Number one support it is, Om. And it is Param, highest. And then it's saying that, remember, connected to the previous verse. Previous verse mein bola, you desire what you get. So what are they talking about? Two different kinds of thing. One is that you get it Brahma Loka. जो सगुण साधना करते हैं ना, उनको ब्रह्म लोक, ब्रह्मा जी everybody knows, creator. We have creator, maintenance and destruction or annihilation. By the way, the word God, God, I don't know if anybody has heard of this or analyzed it. It is generator, operator and destroyer, God. So इनमें भी वैसा ही है, Trinity, because this world is like that. And when we talk about destroying, it's not negative destruction, huh? कि कोई नया घर बनाना है तो मुझे पुरानी चीजें तोड़नी पड़ेगी. That's what it means. It's a recycling. That we kind of, when we talk about destruction, we say, oh, Shiva is god of destruction. लगता है कि तांडव.
What does the O stand for?
Operation. Operation meaning जैसे कि कोई चीज हमने बनाई तो उसको फिर मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा ना, ऑपरेट करना पड़ेगा. तो दैट्स God, जनरेटर, ऑपरेटर, डिस्ट्रॉयर. सो हम लोग बोलते हैं मेंटेनेंस, बट इट्स अ सिमिलर थिंग, सिमिलर कॉन्सेप्ट. So that's what it is. When you talk about creator, there's Brahmaji's loka, and that is considered the highest loka in the Saguna sadhana. That tum wahan pahunch gaye, highest. And then our teacher used to always say, wahan jaake फिर ब्रह्मा जी तुमको ब्रह्म ज्ञान देंगे. And then you will get the mukti. और दूसरा है कि वही तुम डायरेक्ट रॉकेट पे बैठ के जाना चाहते हो, बट उसके लिए तुम्हारा इक्विपमेंट भी सही होना चाहिए. That's why I say we cannot copy and we cannot just have a wishful thinking. तुम्हारे पास बॉडी और माइंड ही वो नहीं है तो तुम लोग पहुंचोगे कैसे? So that's why, this both the sadhanas are okay. Whichever one you desire, you get it, and you should do if it is conducive to you. Okay? So Omkar is a beautiful way. And then Tejomayananji was amazing. He said, कि just think of it as a एक flight होती है, एक को बोलते हैं non-stop flight और दूसरी hopping flight. So hopping flight में, one is like straight from, San Francisco to New York. Sorry, San Francisco to Delhi. अभी तो that's better even. पहुंच गए वहाँ पे फट से, टिकट लिया और पहुंच गए. और एक है लंदन में रुक के जाएगी. तो जिसको लंदन में उतरना है, लंदन में उतर जाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Same plane. Same plane, you just get down and suppose if it's the same plane, sometimes you have to change, but he's talking about the same plane, where if you don't want to get down here, continue and you'll take you there. Om is that vehicle, he said, that, you kind of, non-stop चाहिए, non-stop मिल जाएगा, तुमको, रुकना हो जाएगा. और if you think about it, हम लोग का थोड़ा nature भी ऐसा ही होता है. कोई कहीं जाना चाहता है ना तो वो सीधा जाना चाहता है. I don't want to look here, I don't want to look there, I want to just reach. और दूसरा बोलते जल्दी क्या है, enjoy man, just go. लंदन है तो लंदन उतर के हम देखेंगे ना, क्वीन को मिल के आएंगे or whatever. They want to enjoy a little bit. Which one you're going to say is better? Hey, whatever you want. And that's why I was saying that the people who are in like bhakti marg, they say मेरे को मुक्ति चाहिए ही नहीं, मेरे को इतना enjoyment मिल रहा है भक्ति में कि I want my भगवान and me separate ही रहे, मैं तो भक्ति करता रहूं पूरे eternity तक. They are happy in that. So we cannot judge them कि भाई उनको जल्दी पहुंचना चाहिए, वो खुश है, तुमको क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. So that's what it is कि it depends on what you want. But both are available by this vehicle. It's a very powerful vehicle. It's a Param vehicle. And this is what it is, okay? So, and then let's go back to that word that we were talking about. That what does it mean, that mahiyate word? Remember we said that it can go to different ways. So if you are in that saguna sadhana, so you will gain Brahmaji's world. So, you will act physically like, वहाँ पर भी physical तो नहीं है, मगर it's an astral plane, जो भी, I don't know how to explain it. Because the physical plane is only on this earth, where you have this Panch Mahabhuta and the body and this and that. In the astral world, you have more, subtle body. But still the duality is there, over there, right? So then you will, attain that. And the other one, mahiyate ka meaning hoega, कि you are doing the sadhana saying that this Atma is that Brahman, and I want to reach that Brahman, then you will attain it. That's where the word gain and attain has come. Gain is the Brahmaji's loka, attain is your own self, that you will attain it. So this is like a nirguna upasana that you are doing. Okay. And then, so remember, Nachiketa had asked that question, that, tell me about that ultimate reality, what it is. So the way it is explained, that yes, it is Om, that reality, uska naam hai Om, that is a symbol of the reality. And now we are going to open it up, ki bhai, what is that Om? Or what is that Brahman? So pehle khali naam de diya, and then we had because that is the topic of the Upanishad. The actual Brahma Gyan is the topic of the Upanishad. So it is going to open it up more and more, and it is going to reveal in the coming mantras what it is going to be. Okay, so did it clear up, Niluji, the attain and gain? Mm-hmm. Any question on this whole thing? This is kind of a simpler verse, but it is just telling you that how you can get both, and we can read about it. Any question, comment? Anybody wants to add anything? Who wants to read?
I can read.
Sneha, you? Very good.
Most glorious is this support. This is the supreme support. He who has realized or known this support comes to revel in the world of Brahma, the creator.
So even over here he's saying Brahma, but remember this verse has both, because that's how the saints and sages have analyzed it, that even though it says translation में उन्होंने सिर्फ ब्रह्मा जी the creator बोला है, but actually इसमें दोनों आता है.
Self and the Brahman.
Yeah, Brahma means the highest loka is Brahmaji's loka, and the self directly, and then we will discuss it, what did he mean by self and all that. We'll discuss all that. But go ahead.
So Jnanevyu tu Kaivalyam, by knowledge alone is liberation, is the fundamental siddhant of all Vedantins. However severely we may beat the serpent in rope all through the night, we can never kill it. But when a beam of light is thrown on the rope, and thereby we gain the knowledge of the rope, the serpent shall end instantaneously. Similarly, by the subjective experience of the knowledge absolute alone, can we become the eternal and thus reach the peak of perfection and the end of all successes.
So see how it is the same thought is coming over here, that particular knowledge, by knowledge alone is liberation. उसके पहले and kind of छोटी छोटी चीजें मिलेगी, थोड़ी सी प्योरिटी मिलती जाएगी वगैरह, बट कंप्लीट जब ये होता है, जब ये नॉलेज मिलता है. एंड द स्नेक एंड द रोप एग्जांपल इज द बेस्ट वन, दैट पूरा स्नेक ही गायब हो जाएगा once you know that it is a rope. And how you going to see the rope? जब ज्ञान का दीपक जलेगा, मीन्स अंधेरे में ही मेरे को वो सांप दिख रहा है, जब लाइट आ जाएगी तो ये तो रस्सी है. See how that beautiful the analogy is, तो फिर वो सारा फियर साथ में चला जाएगा रोप का, सॉरी स्नेक का.
But here the Upanishad is advising for the benefit of the less evolved ones a discipline of upasana or worship. And it is a clear declaration of the Shruti in this stanza that the successful worshipper reaches the Brahmlok, the state of Hiranyagarbha, which of course is not the highest.
So he's just talking about that technical term, and we learned this word Hiranyagarbha is the total mind, जिसको ईश्वर बोलते हैं. Like, in Vedanta, if you want technical word, that's the Ishwar is the karma phal data and all that, because there is a state which is beyond all this also. Remember, that's why he said cause and effect. But if you stay in this, then there's a cause and effect. All the karma theory, everything applies over here, but there is a state which we go above it. So this Om can take you either one that you want.
In Sanskrit, Brahmlok can be milked to yield two meanings, as a Brahm Rupi Lok, a world of the nature of the self, or as Brahmani Lok, the world of the glorious Brahma, the creator. The worshipper, Upasak, through his actions, karma, ensures only his entry into the world of the creator, while the one who meditates upon the significances suggested by the symbol Om, knowing or realizing his own personal identity with the truth, through his knowledge, becomes the absolute himself.
Jnana, that word is jnana. Yeah.
Becomes the absolute himself. Thus, in this stanza, we may discover that Lord Death has hinted at the goal of both karma worship and jnana knowledge.
So he is taking this approach that, karma ko purify karte karte tum wo highest milega is worship se there is only Brahma lok tak ja sakte ho. Gyan se you attain that state of realization. That's what he's talking about. So it's a little technical, but I think for us it's like Sagun and Nirgun Brahma, that we understand very easily, right? And then we saw that how Om Sadhana mein Sagun bhi hai, A, U and Ma. You can get all the siddhis, all that, whatever you want, all three lokas. But there is that Nirgun Brahma is there between the two Oms, the Turiya state, And somebody wants to meditate upon that, and they can merge with Brahman. So this is what up to here. And actually after this, pretty heavy stuff is going to start. And that is the verse, We probably won't go too much in detail, but Tejomananji brought a very important point, and I'm going to discuss that what that Atma means actually. And he scientifically analyzed it. But whoever wants to see this verse 18, you can see, and the similar verse, 50% is so identical. Not even 50%, I would say 70%. Verse 20 of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. Verse 20 of chapter 2 is the same. And then Ajo Nitya Shashvato Yam Purana Na Hanyate Hanyamane Sharira is the exact same line. And the other one is Na Jayate Na Mriyate also. Only that Vipaschit, and usme dusra word use kiya Vipaschit ke liye. Anyway. So I'm on
Verse 20 of which chapter did
2.
you say in Bhagavad Gita?
Chapter 2.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So whoever has can see it. So anyway, as far as this verse is concerned, 17, about reaching two different places and all that. Anybody has any question, comment, wants to add anything?
We need both jnana, and also knowledge.
Say that again.
We need worship. No, we need worship and also knowledge. We need to do both.
True. But what he's saying is, you can have, see, when it comes to path, as I was telling you, there is no absolute thing, because remember we were discussing bhakti is there, karma is there, but karma yoga bhakti ke bina hoga bhi nahi. If you are not devoted, think about it. If you are not devoted to your work, you cannot do it. So we cannot completely put it in the boxes, but all he's saying that either Nirgun or Sagun, either one is okay, depending on the vehicle you have got. Ultimately, तो सब वहीं पहुंचेंगे. Like Joe also always says, we are reaching at the same spot. थोड़ा एक scenic रास्ते से जा रहा है, एक सीधा जा रहा है. अभी सीनिक वाला आर्ग्यू करेगा कि भाई अगर भगवान ने सीनिक दिया है तो क्यों जाऊं मैं डायरेक्ट, मजाक करते हुए जाऊंगा, और वो डायरेक्ट वाला बोलेगा फालतू में टाइम क्यों वेस्ट कर रहा है. सी व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, लॉजिक में यू विल नेवर कम टू अ कंक्लूजन. सो दोनों को खुश करने के लिए भाई तो को ये चाहिए तो को ये मिलेगा, वो चाहिए वो मिलेगा. सो देयर इज, वी डोंट नीड टू सिट एंड आर्ग्यू कि कौन सा बेटर है. You know, it's like arguing, you know, laddu is better than barfi. Hey, somebody likes barfi more. What are you going to do? You know, see what I'm saying? It's a useless argument. You know, when we argue about the path or argue about the goal and all, it is our own ahankar talking. There is nothing more than that. My guru is better than yours. My path is better than yours. My city is better than, you know what I'm saying? Who says so? You know, जिसके लिए जो जिसको पसंद है वही बेटर है. That's all we have to look at it that way. You can have a blending also, there's no problem. They don't insist on anything. All they insist is purify your mind. Take out all the negativities from your mind. That's what they are. That everybody says. Whether no matter what religion it is, no matter who it is, which saint it is. Nobody's going to say, go pollute your mind. You know? So. Everybody okay? Any other comment? Huh?
Only thing is, the only thing is we can always discuss about why laddu is better than barfi.
No, it's a useless argument. Think about it, Kamalaji. If somebody likes barfi, how can you say that laddu is better? Tell me.
No, we cannot say that laddu is better or barfi is better, but we can analyze both. Hey, barfi has more protein in it. Laddu is made up of besan. It has this thing.
If you talk to my husband, he will say it's a complete myth that you have to eat that much protein. Saying, do you know body can make protein? I didn't know about that. He explained to me that body can actually
we need
create.
only 50 grams of protein, 50 to 55
So
grams.
in fact, you can have a protein, what you call poisoning in your body. If you take too much protein, then body can get shot, and we don't know. So balance is everything. So that's what it is. I think that here Asha ji had something, right? You were going to say something? No? Okay, I thought that you reached forward, so I thought maybe you're unmuting yourself. But I hope that everybody understood that what point I was trying to make, because certain things don't lead anywhere in argument. Yeah. You know, because you actually can prove either one depending on how forceful that person is. Like you know, some of the Swamis says कि वो लोग ऐसी दलीलें देंगे ना तुमको रात को नींद नहीं आएगी. So some people are so good at giving because we are in duality, and what they are telling you, rise above it. That's why Nachiketa is Nachiketa ko we put him on a highest pedestal, because he said, tell me the thing which is beyond dharma and adharma, beyond cause and effect, beyond 3 periods of time. So our goal is actually to reach there. But so if we stay in this argumentative mode, we will never reach there. That's what it is. It's kind of a subtle thing. So now we have 15 minutes. I want to talk about what Tejomaya Anandji explained, and he explained it so beautifully. So I want to bring that about Atma. Let's analyze Atma. So we learned that I'm not going to go in completely verse 18, but it's like an introduction to it before we get into it, and then we'll be ready next week with it. So we talked about Apara Brahma and Para Brahma, right? One second, I want to make sure that So Apara Brahma is gained and Para Brahma is known. So those are the two things. And then, like we understood that Dharmaraja says that hey Nachiketa, that truth that you are asking me to tell you, that is the word symbol is Om. And then he's going to discuss what Om is on and all that. So now, but this Om is actually, the Brahman is in our heart itself. It's not like we have to go somewhere. It is in us only. So now let's see what it is. So when we say the word Atma, everybody knows this word Atma. And that Atma is nothing but the same as Brahman, but because when it expresses through me, I just give it for technical purpose, I give the name Atma. So, what he's talking about, that what is this knowledge, is knowledge about the self. So आत्मा को ना जब इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट करते हैं ना तो वो द वर्ड दे यूज इज सेल्फ विद द कैपिटल एस. सभी ने देखा होगा, राइट? कैपिटल एस वाला जो है ना, सेल्फ. So like, okay, so what is this self? So when I say regular language ले लो. When I say self means I. Everybody agrees? You know, I means self. So how do I use this word I? So let's look at our own grammar. I want this. I saw this. I picked up this. I joined the class. सब में I आया है, right? So that is the subject he's saying. You know, if you look at from the grammatical point of view. And other things are objects. So objects can be many, subject is only one. I. You know? So let's start with that. So what does this I refer to? So it refers to many different things. And in Sanskrit, there is a word, it's called upadhi. Most of you understand the word, ना उसको वो उपाधि मिल गई or something. वो उपाधि ना कभी भी परमानेंट नहीं होती, हाँ? जैसे कि प्रेसिडेंट बन गया. Do you think that president निकल भी सकता है? Nothing is permanent. जब when he's dead, then दूसरा president आएगा. Right? कोई बोलेगा चलो पूरी लाइफ के लिए वो president था, but after he died, is no more. So upadhis are always like temporary. It's called, in English, they have given the word conditioning. You know, that you are conditioned by that. So it's a relative standpoint. So all the different, when I say I, sometime I refer to my body, like I can say I am sitting. So that means my body is sitting. So I'm referring this I to the body. Everybody agrees? Then I can say, hey, you know, I'm listening to this, what you're saying. Listening is a function of indriyas. Right? Or I'm smelling something, or I'm, you know, tasting. That's all indriyas. So this, now I'm referring I to my indriyas.
Senses.
Huh? Then I can say, you know, I was very upset today. What am I referring to? I'm saying I, but it's emotions. I'm referring to my mind. And then sometimes I ask you, did you understand what I'm saying? And you say yes. What are we referring to? Our intellect. So that means I can be so many different things that I'm, you know, this, all of them are I only, you know. And then sometimes I can say, oh, I'm talking. Talking is karmendriya. Indriyo mein bhi dusra hai na, jnanendriya and karmendriya. So listening is that. So see, now you see this I can be many different. Or I can say, I'm very hungry. I'm thirsty. That is pranas. That is a dharma of the prana. Of hunger and this thing is वो प्राणों के arena में आता है. So here we're talking about the pranas. So it can be, all of that is referring to I. But this is all still a vyavharik I. They call it transactional. And then there is one more I in me, which I call as me, like, you know, me, Uma, or you know, Sneha, or Kamlaji. When Kamlaji says I, she's talking about this all put together. Correct? Senses, ye, wo, and a personality put together, you say I. That is the actual ego. When we say what is ego, ego is that all that personality put together is assemblage. You can call it all the assemblage, and I'm calling it I. So now we are going deep into what real Atma is. So when you say self, so we started with this journey, okay? I, what does it mean? So, what is the true meaning of this I? That's what, who tells you this? The Upanishad tell you. Upanishad says, hey, all that is correct, but it is not the absolute I. That is just a conditional I. So our ego is a conditional I, you know. And there is some factor which is beyond this. That all these things that you're talking about, that's what this inquiry is all about. And Nachiketa is asking, you know, tell me that factor, that's what it is, beyond all this I. Because let's analyze it a little further. What is the difference between like a dead body and the live body? That everybody understands. A dead plant and a live plant. We can immediately tell, yeah, that's why जो dead plant होता है हम लोग फिर निकाल देते हैं उसको. It's not going to come back, you know. So there is something, even though the assemblage is there, if somebody has a dead body sitting, he still has all the other ingredients in there, but he's still, we call it dead because something is missing from it. Agreed? So let's go back and now this example, Tejomay Anandji brought the bulb and the electricity he brought in. Okay? So he said, you have a bulb, like I have a table lamp here. So I have a table lamp. Table lamp has a bulb, but bulb itself doesn't have a light. Everybody agrees? If the bulb is just sitting there, it doesn't have anything. And then there's a filament in there too. Filament has a light? No. When does it get the light? When you plug that in, electricity. So the same way that our body is like the bulb, filament is our mind, and the electricity is Brahman. So when it is plugged together, the light express, or say electricity, filament, and the bulb, when you plug in, light shines. Can you say that the light is Brahman? Not really, because light is just an expression of Brahman. That's what he said. There is a very technical thing here. You cannot, so life also you cannot say it is Brahman. Life is just an expression of Brahman. So if you equate life to God, technically even that is not correct, because God is beyond that also. So that's how we have to think of it, that Brahman is, कभी वो बोलते हैं ना परे है उसके. अगर ये बल्ब टूट भी जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कर तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला ना. That's one point. And electricity is same everywhere in the entire world. The ingredient of electricity is identical. You cannot say, Canadian electricity and American. Electricity at the core is identical everywhere, the same way. But the bulbs can be hundreds. Table lamps can be 100. Expressions can be so many different ways. More, less, ye, wo. So that's what he's talking about. So in Vedanta, it's called that pure consciousness. And what Tejomay Anandji said, even this word pure consciousness is confusing. Actually, it is just consciousness. Pure हमने उसमें आगे लगा दिया. Consciousness is consciousness, okay? There is no pure unpure in it, but हम लोग को लगाना पड़ा pure consciousness, because हम लोग को आदत है बोले pure unpure डालेंगे, तो उन्होंने बोला ठीक है बोल दो pure. It's a consciousness. इसको चैतन्य बोलते हैं, like Sanskrit में. So he's saying that Chaitanya he wanted to know, Nachiketa, but it's not directly known to us. We cannot know it directly, because we can only know its expression. Just like electricity हमको दिखाई कहाँ देती है? बल्ब को भी देख लो. We don't know what electricity looks like. तो स्वामी जी said कि किसी ने insist किया इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में जानना चाहते हो कि डालो अपनी 2 उंगली वहाँ पे उसमें you ऊपर पहुँच जाओगे तुम. So we are not, our senses are not capable of grasping this Brahman, but we know the expression of it. That's how we know that what is. So when we are talking about that real I or the absolute self, that's what it means. And that's why it is beyond dharma, cause, effect, and all these things. And that's what is probably going to come in the next mantra. So I just wanted to bring this. It's a little difficult subject, but the way Tejomay Anandji explained was very beautiful. The relative part of it and the absolute part of it. So we are kind of more familiar with the relative, but that's not the real thing. And then he's going to define further indicative definition in verse 18, what it is. Any comment or question on this? I'm not going to go into 18 yet, but this is just a little bit introduction. Sheila ji?
Yeah, I have a question for myself. I want to know a little bit more about Brahman, what it indicates. Like, I sometimes think if Brahman means your Ishtadev too,
Okay, when Vedant में जब word Brahman बोलते हैं ना, तो वो consciousness को ही बोलते हैं.
अच्छा, consciousness.
इष्टदेव को फिर देवता या ईश्वर या ऐसे बोलेंगे, word बोलेंगे. So जब हम बोलते हैं तो देवता वो expression of that Brahman है.
I see.
जैसे कि जैसे ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश, तो दुनिया चलाने के लिए वो तीन शक्तियां, वो एक ब्राह्मण से तीन शक्तियां मैनिफेस्ट बोलते हैं वर्ड. हाँ, हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे मैनिफेस्ट को? एनीबडी हैज अ हिंदी वर्ड फॉर मैनिफेस्टेशन? उत्पत्ति भी इज नॉट द एग्जैक्ट. अभिव्यक्ति. तो जैसे कि आप देखो, क्या एग्जांपल दूं मैं? सूरज और सूरज का जो ताप है, राइट? सो ताप आता है हमारे धरती पे, लेकिन सूरज को उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. सूरज वैसे का वैसे ही रहता है. कितने भी करोड़ों साल हो गए, हम रिलेटिवली एंड में सूरज भी जाएगा, मगर वैसे ही वो ब्रह्मांड अलग है. तभी वो हम लोग का एक श्लोक है ना, पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदम, कि उसमें से कुछ निकल भी गया तो उसमें कोई हानि नहीं होती. हाँ, और जब ईश्वर बोला ना, तो ये जो ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश का पद है ना, ये सब टेम्पररी होता है. और उसके नीचे फिर वो दूसरे देवता आते हैं ना, वरुण देवता, वो क्या बोलते हैं, पंच महाभूत के जो देवताज हैं, उन सब का और भी कम समय होता है. सो वन इज लाइक, जिसको बोलते हैं ना हमेशा जो रहता है वो ब्राह्मण है, और जो आता जाता रहता है.
हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो ब्राह्मण है, और फिर उसने अपने 3 फंक्शंस को बांट दिया, क्रिएटर, ऑपरेटर और डिस्ट्रॉयर. उसमें उसने ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश को रख दिया, और फिर उन्होंने अपना काम चलाने के लिए आगे अलग अलग देवताओं से हेल्प ली. वो नीचे की कैटेगरी में आ गए, जो पंचभूतों से बने हैं, वो सब फिर अलग.
और यह इंडिया में तो वो था ना, या आई मीन 33 करोड़ देवता. तो जैसे कि कोई बता रहा था कि हर एक गांव का एक कुल देवता होता है, राइट? है कि नहीं? अब आप आई एम फ्रॉम मुंबई, सो आई काइंड ऑफ, वहां पर एक महालक्ष्मी होती है. सभी लोग वहीं जाते हैं, महालक्ष्मी. किसी को कोई बहुत बड़े मंदिर में जाना होता है, महालक्ष्मी मंदिर चलो मुंबई में. मगर like everywhere they have, or Mumba Devi they used to call that, Lakshmi Devi, that's why the name Mumbai came. But you know, like my mom used to say कि उनके गांव में वो कोई एक कुल देवी होती है, तो कोई भी फंक्शन होता है तो कुल देवी के पास जाके प्रणाम करो and all. उसकी वो part of energy of भगवान only, but it's a smaller energy and there's no harm in it to do, because like it came in, you know, it's hard to remember everything, but in chapter 3 we saw, when we're talking about Yagna spirit, that there is a certain energy of every city, every place, and you know, there's no harm in being in conducive with that energy, you know. So I'm not.
33 करोड़ नहीं है मेरे ख्याल से. 33 कोटि वर्ड का जो दूसरा मीनिंग है टाइप.
I mean, कुछ भी, there are again it's the same thing. 33 करोड़ बोलो, 33 टाइप बोलो, they are the smaller one, they are temporary. And किसी ने ये theory भी बनाई कि एक टाइम पे ना there were इंडिया में जनता 33 करोड़ थी. Okay, so they say everybody is God, that's how 33 करोड़ हो गया. I thought that explanation was a great one for me. Everybody is God, everybody is expression of God only. Okay, so that's why 33 crore. Yeah. So that 33 crore is a very this kind of word.
Every human being is a god.
Yes, there you go.
And Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, mein Brahma is a appointed position, just like Indra is a appointed position.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
That's why Indra is always worried that somebody will take over his throne, and he sends this Apsara to Rishi Muni, because when they are doing Anas Tapasya, they may become Indra. So that's why he sends Menka to them. So Brahma also, there is a Brahma's full cycle and time, that how much is his life, and that is appointed position. So the new Brahma comes.
Coming back to Sheilaji's question, that's what it is. When they talk about Brahman, it is untouched by time and space.
Yeah.
All the rest is like time bound. That's all it is. Okay.
Actually,
So
Guru Nanak, if you listen to Japji Sahab, he talks about Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and you look behind them, which is where the Brahman is, which we are talking about.
Okay, now I got an idea for how to explain this to Sheilaji. Just look at gold and ornaments. Okay, relatively speaking, we're talking, but to understand this concept, gold हमेशा रहेगा, Sheilaji. लेकिन उसका ऑर्नामेंट आप अलग अलग बना सकते हो. कभी आपने उसकी ईयरिंग बना ली, कभी क्या, फिर अगर वो प्योर गोल्ड है, सपोज 24 कैरेट का बनाया आपने, तो आप सब मेल्ट करके वापस कुछ क्रिएट कर लो. उसका गोल्ड हमेशा रहेगा, लेकिन उसको क्रिएट कर सकते हो, राइट? तो वो गोल्ड इज ब्राह्मण एंड ऑर्नामेंट्स आर दिस डिफरेंट थिंग्स. हाँ, एंड देन ओशन को देख लो आप. ओशन एंड वेव्स, क्या संबंध है उनका? ओशन हमेशा रहता है, वेव्स आती जाती रहती है. तो जब हम लोग देवता बोलते हैं ना, देवता लाइक टेम्पररी है, बट ब्राह्मण इज दैट फैक्टर जो हमेशा रहता है. और जैसे जैसे हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे ना, इसमें और क्लियर होता जाएगा शीला जी, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट दे डू. दे एंड देन इफ यू हैव टाइम, गो बैक टू चैप्टर 2 एंड आई विल टेल यू विच वर्सेस. उसमें वो ब्राह्मण का एग्जैक्टली ब्राह्मण क्या है उसका और भी डेफिनेशन दिया गया है. अभी यही तो आने वाला है आगे, यू नो, जो वर्स 18 में आएगा.
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच.
उमा जी, आप पहले बोल रहे थे कि इंडिया में जैसे हर गांव का कोई कुल देवता होता है. आई कैन टेक यू बियॉन्ड दैट. इवन हर फैमिली का कोई कुल देवता या कुल देवी की पूजा होती है, कोई भी इम्पोर्टेंट.
ट्रू. और मैं आपको और एक स्टेप फर्दर डाउन, अगर एक फैमिली में 5 जन है ना, 5 लोगों को